Before I get started with this, let me give a shout out to the amazing Lucas, because if I wasn't subscribed to his channel, I would have not seen this story right here. And this story right here is gonna blow y'all away. Like when I first saw it, it didn't so much blow me away, but it just kind of made me be like, okay, this is where we at with it. Okay. So you may not be familiar with who this person name or who this person in this picture is. I didn't know who they were either until I had to come on here to do a video about this story, because I was going to make one, but I didn't know that it actually had a person attached to it as far as who will be banned under this new policy that Twitch has. But this guy's name is Hasan Piker, and he apparently has a pretty large presence on the Twitch platform, which Twitch is mainly used to play video games and stream games and everything like that. Some people use it for other reasons, but it's really known for people who are gamers. But this guy has a following on Twitch. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what it is that he talks about, but he recently got banned from the platform that just went into effect. And the reason why he got banned is because he used the word cracker. Now, we all know when you hear the word cracker, what people would usually think of, or who people would actually think of when it comes to that word. And I'm gonna piggyback off of a couple of points that the amazing Lucas used when he was talking about this story, because I think he was only talking about it from the position of them actually banning the word. I don't know if he actually talked about the situation involving this person, or maybe he did, but it was a couple of days ago since I watched the video. So you had PC people out here that want to be oppressed so badly, while at the same time and in the same breath will sit up there and tell black people what oppression is and what it is not, and then come down on black people when we call out the BS. They literally have, or they're trying to label the word cracker as a racial slur. Keep in mind, I'm almost certain that the N-word gets thrown around on Twitch quite often. I'm almost certain of it, and no one bats an eye. But the word cracker is what they're deciding to deem as a racial slur, because they have to make white people feel bad. And I'm not surprised at the direction that it's headed into, because you have clowns like the Coonstress. If y'all remember, I did a video about her a couple weeks ago when she said whites and Asians are being systematically oppressed in America, and that black Americans are the most dangerous group in America. Of course, that's all based on what she thinks. But then again, we don't give a damn what she thinks, because we know that there's not a brain up there allowing her to think. She just talks for the sake of wanting to talk, like many other grifters before her, with her, and will come after her. So they banned this guy. I'm recording this on December 14th, 2021, and his ban went into effect yesterday on the 13th. And now I think they said that he's moving on to YouTube to really do his thing. Well, he better be careful over there too, because YouTube has, their own thing. I don't think they've gone as far as to ban the word cracker, but who knows what they'll do in the future. They do have their policies tend to be very strict. I should know. Take it from somebody who has a love-hate relationship with this platform. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article that's coming from Kotaku.com. And it was actually posted today on December 14th, 2021 at 11:55 a.m. Amazon-owned streaming platform Twitch considers cracker a serious racial slur, a fact many only learned this week after socialist streamer Hasan Piker and others were banned for saying it. This latest bizarre moderation decision comes months after protests for Twitch's failure to protest streamers of color for racism and harassment. Now, y'all know I do not like that people of color terminology, especially when they try to lump black people in there, keep them separate. But interesting point they brought up. They said that, I guess you could say, non-white streamers, let's put it like that, non-white streamers on Twitch brought harassment and people saying racist things to them over the course of time, and they never did anything. But the minute that palm-colored PC is upset over a word, now it's an issue. Now something must be done. The ban wave began with Piker's mods, who were removed after using the words in the chat earlier this week. Some of Piker's fans consider the term hateful and out of line. Piker did not. I've been called cracker more times than every single one of you effing pasty little cracker bees in my chat, okay? He said at one point. After Piker came to his mod's defense, he was also hit with a ban starting on December 13th. Whether or not cracker should be a bannable offense was catapulted into discourse, meaning that streamers like Ian Vosh Kaczynski started using the term in their commentary on the controversy, only to also get banned for it. So if you just even say the word, then they'll ban you. But my thing is this: what if you're referring to the cracker that you eat? Unless you're eating that and you have to like point to it or show it into the camera saying I'm about to eat and wave it to the camera so you don't get banned. This, like I said, goes back to PC wanting to be oppressed so bad. But the N-word gets thrown around so much. And not just even the N-word, but other derogatory terminology towards black people that are actually oppressive. And if you look at the history of the word cracker in the way that they're talking about or thinking about, it was because of the crack of the whip that massa would use on the slaves. But you know, some people don't dig that much into history. Some don't care. But let me go ahead and continue. Another streamer, Fawn, was also recently banned from Twitch and wrote on Twitter that she believed it was for the same reason. The term cracker dates back to at least Shakespeare and was historically deployed against poor white people and immigrants by other white people. Now, this is the first time I've ever heard that explanation, because I've never heard that one before. Can someone tell me if that's an explanation they ever get? Because I've never heard that before. At some point last century, it started also being used specifically by black people against racist white people. Now that I do know. Now, as the far right tries to fuel racist panics, whether it can keep its stranglehold over this country, cultural warriors have tried to elevate cracker into an anti-white slur as offensive as any other racial epithet. The problem, of course, is that racism refers to overarching power structures, not if an innocuous word make you feel bad, nor is cracker equivalent to words historically used to subjugate and literally harm BIPOC. Twitch's community guidelines bans any and all hateful conduct, but is ambiguous on what it does or doesn't count as hateful when it comes to certain racialized phrases. We do not make our list of slurs public so as not to enable or facilitate evasion of this policy, the guideline states. That's a red flag right there. They said they don't make public of the terminologies or words that they would deem as hate speech, but just know that we have a list. Why would you put your list in a phantom mode then, is the question. Further, we take context into account when evaluating whether use of a slur violates our policies. Cracker being a bannable offense is so hilariously deranged, just placating the most fragile man children in the world who themselves know they're just fiending outrage over nothing, wrote Twitter power user Zay Squirrel. Twitch did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The platform taking firm action against the use of Cracker comes after loads of criticism earlier this year, and arguably since Twitch's inception, of failing to take the safety concerns of creators of color seriously, particularly black streamers. Why didn't they just say black streamers? They didn't have to say of color. And even in that previous statement, when they was talking about people of color, we knew they were talking about black people as well. See, they trying their best to try to lump black people into that people of color. And to the black people that keep doing that, stop that shit. Stop it. Over the summer, users made use of Twitch's raid feature to flood the chats of black and marginalized streamers with a range of abusive language, including slurs. The rise of these hate raids and Twitch's slow response to dealing with them led to the rise of a hashtag Twitch Do Better hashtag and an eventual all-day boycott by some streamers on September 1st. Later that month, Twitch reportedly sued at least 2 of the people behind some of the hate raids as part of a larger response to addressing some of the platform's shortcomings. This is only the 3rd time Hasan has been banned from the platform. One previous incident occurred after he said that America deserved 9/11 because of its past history of foreign wars and human rights abuses. So if they say that if this is his 3rd time, I wonder if that means he'll be able to get back onto the platform eventually after that. And I wonder how long Twitch's bans, quote unquote, actually last. This is some very interesting stuff right here. And the reason I say that more than anything else is because this can lead into other platforms doing the same thing. That word cracker could never amount to or equal out to the extremeness, that's probably not even a word, that is the N-word. For sure. For sure. The only thing they really got right with this article that I saw was when they said with black people when we use the word and what it's used to describe or who it's talking about, and that in particular is racist PC people. And even then, you don't really see a lot of black people using that word nowadays. Now, back then, like maybe like back in the 90s and 80s, and especially the 70s, you probably heard it more often. But we've become very more creative with what we decide to call people nowadays, to the point where some can't even figure out what the hell it is that we're talking about. Shout out to Lee Atwater. He may have been a racist prick, but we got some kind of usage out of his ass, and that's code speak. Something I tend to use quite often. I still got clowns and trolls trying to figure out what certain words and phrases mean, and I'm not telling them a damn thing, and neither should you. Keep them guessing. But yeah, Twitch, like I've only used Twitch a few times. I have a Twitch account and I only communicate with maybe 2 people over there when they're going live on Twitch. Other than that, I'm not on Twitch. I tried to do streaming off of Twitch a couple years ago. It didn't work. Now, if I was a gamer, possibly, yeah. And then people say, oh, you know what? Maybe you should go to Twitch. And they're not talking about me, but they're talking about other people. Maybe you should go to Twitch. Not if Twitch is doing something like this, because imagine they start with this word right here. Imagine what word they're going to go to next. And the thing is, it seems like they banned these people pretty instantly. It's like as soon as they said the word, stream got cut. And like I said, I don't know how long the banning process actually lasts for Twitch. To me, it doesn't sound like it's a permanent ban, because they said this is the 3rd time he's been banned. So he's been banned twice before this. And they gave an example of the time he was banned before. So if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. Because like I said, it sounds like this guy here has a pretty large following over there. So anybody can get got through this. But I just think it's real stupid. I think it's dumb. And it's more than anything a huge reach to grasping for straws. This is just their way of trying to make PC feel more oppressed than they have ever been in their lives, which has probably been almost never. At least not to the extent of black people, specifically black Americans.